In Godzilla Kong The New Empire, there were quite a number of titans and megafauna or super species that were showcased. Some of them were insectoid in appearance like Mothra and Scylla, while others were either great apes or reptiles like Godzilla and Shimo. Yet in the reptile category of titans, there were 3 others that had a very similar body shape and habit, and these are the 3 serpentine titans: Titanus Tiamat, Warbat, and the Drownviper of Hollow Earth. So here in this video we will discuss the differences between these 3 titans, including their size, powers, and habitat. So let's get to it. Let's begin with their description, starting with Titanus Tiamat. In Godzilla Dominion, Tiamat is depicted as a colossal serpent-like creature with a light blue hue and a vibrant purple coloration, with knife-like scales and a skull that is similar to that of an eastern dragon, featuring yellow eyes and 4 barbels, plus there were 2 wing-like membranes or fins extending from near her head. However, in Godzilla Kong The New Empire, Tiamat's appearance undergoes a significant transformation. She is now dark green with numerous purple serrated fins running along the length of her body, and she gives off a magenta radiation glow. Unlike her graphic novel counterpart, she now has 4 short limbs with deadly claws, maybe due to her evolution within the Kvitoria ice mass. Her draconic skull remains the same but is now surrounded by yellow frills that can open and fold, and depending upon her mood. Additionally, her fins now glow with a bright bioluminescent magenta hue, which enhances her appearance as well as her intimidation display. Now let's take a look at the Drownviper. These are gigantic titans. They are serpent-like creatures that lurk in the depths of the vast lakes of Hollow Earth. They have an eel-like body which is also like an aquatic snake, with shimmering blue-silver scales and striking yellow stripes all over. There are 3 formidable spiked fins that run along the long serpentine bodies, starting at the back of their draconic skulls and extending down their necks. Their mouths are filled with rows of needle-like teeth, and they possess squid-like radula, which are kinda like tongues with teeth, and this adds to their menacing appearance. Despite their massive size, Drownvipers are masters of stealth, and they are ambush predators of the lakes and often wait for long periods of time before sneaking up on unsuspecting victims. And then we have the Warbat. First seen in Godzilla vs. Kong and then again in the new entry, these Warbats are gigantic titans. They are serpentine and reptilian with grey-brownish colorations, and they possess 2 striking reddish membranous wings that extend from their upper body spines, and they emerge from the top half, extending outwards like an Indian cobra. These wings are supported by long spines which are actually extensions of their ribcage, and their torso are snake-like, which are designed to maneuver through the Hollow Earth's rugged terrain when their wings are not in use. Their massive snake-like heads are equipped with 2 enormous 14-foot-long fangs protruding from the bottom jaw, and accompanied by rows of needle-like teeth. These Warbats share great resemblances with the kaiju king cobra of the animated Godzilla the series. Let's start the first comparison, which is size. The official stated sizes of 2 of these 3 titans have been announced, and for the last one we can only estimate with what we have seen. Titanus Tiamat has been described and then again shown clearly in a GXK movie to be 847 feet long, or 258.2 meters long, making her one of the longest titans till date, longer than even Godzilla but shorter than Shimo and Nakika. The Warbats from Godzilla vs. Kong are shown to be immensely long. One was capable of wrapping its snake-like body around Kong a couple of times, and still have its upper torso towering above Kong. Clearly, it would have easily been twice the height of Kong, but officially it has been stated that the Warbats have a maximum size of 428 feet long, or 130 meters, which is just half that of Tiamat. Now the Drownviper also shows that it can coil around Kong with its long snake-like body, which appears to be even longer than that of the GVK Warbats. Therefore, it would be around 300 meters or 1000 feet in length, but who knows what the official statistics will be, depending on the size geniuses they hire. Now let's take a look at weapons and abilities. So what we have here are 3 titans with a similar body structure, which is snake-like, and they all have heads with jaws full of teeth, deadly teeth. The Warbats have the addition of membranous wings that can suffocate prey and also use them to fly with. They have the ability to inject venom with their fangs and also with their wings' spiky endings, and the amount of venom is stated to be 9,800 gallons per bite, which is almost equivalent to a Boeing 757-200 fuel capacity. Using a method called the razor wing death mask, Warbats often smother their prey to death with their wing membranes, And lastly, they have never been found to be alone. They are either seen to be traveling in massive flocks or in a hunting pair. Next, Tiamat is an incredibly formidable titan capable of surviving both on land and in the water indefinitely, possessing greater mobility in aquatic environments, which far surpasses that of even Godzilla. Classified as bio-ultraviolet by Monarch, she feeds on radiation and can discharge it at extreme temperatures, boiling the ocean and firing concentrated beams from her eyes. Tiamat's durability is remarkable, surviving even after Godzilla ripped a chunk of flesh from her body, though she is vulnerable to his atomic breath, as was seen in the end. She can expand her frills around her head for intimidation and to smother enemies like Godzilla, and can also manipulate water to create maelstroms and water sprouts to drag enemies underwater. Additionally, Tiamat can spew phosphorus ink to blind her enemies, and her razor-sharp scales can inflict deep wounds, cutting through even the densest of Titan armor. From the three, the Drownvipers are the ones with the least of abilities in addition to their size and strength. Nevertheless, this creature is a formidable aquatic predator capable of staying underwater indefinitely, but also can breach the surface to ambush their prey. It possesses a radula, which is a tooth-covered tongue that complements its sharp teeth, allowing it to puncture and lacerate flesh. With impressive speed and agility, Drownvipers can swiftly attack, coiling around their prey in a rapid succession of movements to prevent escape and strangle them to death just like an anaconda or a python. Despite their large size, they are still agile enough to overpower titans as large as Kong. While the fight was not seen in full, we can infer that it is only thanks to the axe that Kong managed to survive and defeat the aquatic leviathan. Now let's take a look at their habitats and their habits. All three titans are said to be predatory creatures, but with only the Drownviper and the Warbats having shown their carnivorous nature. Tiamat was only shown to absorb radiation, and maybe that's her only food source, and that her teeth are only for territorial fights and defense. She is also the only one of the three to reside in the surface world, often occupying underwater caverns and ice shelves, and swimming around the ocean. The Drownviper is an ambush predator that lurks in the large lakes of Hollow Earth, and they are solo creatures. The Warbats are also Hollow Earth titans, but their habitat are the skies of the subterranean realm, them ruling the air with their vast numbers. They also are stated to be able to traverse on land and even ambush titan prey from higher altitudes, gliding to their victims like ambush predators. So now lastly, in comparison, we have the Drownviper maybe being the longest, but that's up to the VFX artist to give us a solid figure. Otherwise, Tiamat is the longest of the bunch. When talking about strength, Tiamat can be concluded to be the most powerful due to her razor-sharp fins, her ability to control the water around her, and even blast enemies with magenta radiation powers. The Warbats might be lesser in strength in comparison to the Drownviper and Tiamat, but they have numbers on their side, and also the ability to inject thousands of gallons of venom, which might immobilize even the larger Titan enemies. And so that's that. Tiamat is number 1, Warbats number 2, and Drownviper number 3 in this ranking. Now if you like this video, then watch this other one as well. And if you want to check for other monster content, then do check out our channel. We might just have things you haven't seen before. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.